In the 4th century BCE, the 300s, the center of political and military attention in the Greek world shifted northward to a kingdom called Macedonia. Macedonia, long considered a peripheral and somewhat backward region by Greeks in the south, would soon produce one of history's greatest conquerors, Alexander the Great. Under Alexander, Greek civilization expanded far beyond its traditional homeland. By the time of his death, Greek influence stretched from Italy to the Indus River, the border of modern India and Pakistan, and northward toward the Himalayas. Greek culture spread across Egypt, Persia, and even regions as distant as Afghanistan. But before understanding Alexander, one must understand his father, the man who transformed Macedonia into a dominant power, Philip II of Macedon. Before 400 BCE, Macedonia was not part of what we would call the mainstream Greek world. It was not a polis, but a kingdom, and not a particularly strong or centralized one. In the 5th century BCE, it even lost control of its own coastline to Athens. It frequently faced raids from non-Greek tribes to the north. Nevertheless, the Macedonians were Greek. They spoke a Greek dialect. They worshipped the Greek gods. They revered Homer. They participated in the Olympic Games. Even so, Athens and Sparta tended to treat Macedonians as uncultured, provincial cousins rather than full equals. Everything changed in 359 BCE, when a young and ambitious Philip became king. Despite being in his early 20s, he had already gained valuable experience. As a teenager, Philip had been held as a hostage in Thebes, where he observed Greek politics firsthand and studied the Theban military system, one of the best in Greece at the time. He developed a deep admiration for Greek culture. When Philip became king, he drew on these experiences to transform Macedonia into a powerful, unified state. Philip was a brilliant politician, skilled warrior, and a shrewd judge of human nature. He knew his soldiers would only respect him if he demonstrated personal bravery, so he fought at the front lines in battle. This earned their loyalty, but came at a cost. Philip was wounded repeatedly and even lost his right eye in combat. Yet Philip understood that force alone was not the best tool for conquest. He preferred diplomacy and bribery when possible. He famously claimed he could capture any Greek city simply by sending a wagon full of gold to its gates. He believed that war created long-lasting resentment, while negotiation and rewards produced more stable loyalty. To strengthen his kingdom, Philip made sweeping reforms. He reorganized Macedonia's taxation system and took advantage of its rich gold mines. He reclaimed control of the coastal regions to gain access to trade. Philip transformed the Macedonian army into the most formidable force in Greece. He kept the phalanx structure but replaced the traditional thrusting spear with the sarissa, a 14-foot pike. The job of the phalanx was no longer simply to push or jab at the enemy, but to pin them in place. Then Macedonian cavalry, the finest in Greece, would strike the enemy's flanks. Philip also introduced rigorous training and discipline, creating a professional fighting force unmatched in the Greek world. In 352 BCE, Philip began working toward his dream, unifying all of Greece under his leadership. He achieved this goal in 338, when he defeated the combined armies of Athens and Thebes at the Battle of Chaeronea. Now master of Greece, Philip convened the Greek states at Corinth and established a new federal council known as the League of Corinth. This body allowed him to direct Greek foreign policy, command all Greek military forces, and legally justify the unification of Greece under Macedonian leadership. He gave himself the title hegemon, from which we get the modern term hegemony. Sparta refused to participate, but Philip, ever the pragmatist, simply ignored them rather than risk unnecessary conflict. Philip's ultimate goal was to invade the Persian Empire. By 336 BCE, he believed Macedonia was ready. He prepared to lead the Greek-Macedonian army eastward. But before he could launch the campaign, he arranged for his daughter to marry the king of Epirus, a kingdom in northwestern Greece. During the wedding celebrations, Philip was assassinated, reportedly by a Macedonian nobleman, possibly acting under Persian influence. With Philip's death, his son Alexander inherited both the throne and the vast ambitions that would soon reshape the ancient world.